right now, please, on Footballers Guide. We got something really new tonight. We don't usually do these things, but this had to happen tonight, guys. There's a 24/7 coaching app, and the guy who's actually invented it is Josh Acland. Josh, welcome for Footballers. We've got Carlos Bielli from Planet Football, I'll say today. There you go, guys. Much easier. Mate, honestly, this is really interesting because I've been through your app. I've checked some stuff out today. Boy, can you explain a bit more about it? Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Harry. It's really exciting for me. I created the 24/7 football app, and it basically has digitised a home training program for players. So it allows players to access specialised academy-style training in their own home and complete on-demand sessions. You know, they can go through all the different options on there, which provide sessions for all the different types of areas of their game that they want to train, like juggling, ball mastery, 1v1 skills, stop-start skills, turns, speed, dribbling, you name it. You know, It's on the app, right? And under each category of training, there's sessions and programs, and each session essentially gets progressively more difficult. So it kind of starts the player on a bit of a system where they start with the first session there and work their way down the list and improve their skills. So we're seeing some good results with some young players here who are on the app and climbing the leaderboard and playing against each other there.
Before I bring on your background, when did you start in the game? And how did you climb up to play the game itself?
Yeah, so from what I'm told, I came out of the womb with a soccer ball at my feet. But outside of that, look, I went through all the programs as the elite programs at Football New South Wales as a player underneath Oscar Gonzalez and played representative football there under Alan Stajic as well.
Oh, okay.
And so came through those kind of systems and then progressed on to go start coaching at Football New South Wales as well, and then broke off to run my own academy, coaching young kids with development teams, and players have gone on to playing some good teams in professional leagues as well. And Connor O'Toole, who's played in the A-League and over in Japan now, and he was one of my players that I spent a lot of time coaching when he was a young player and for a lot of years. So it was nice when I got to take my young son, I've got to say, to the A-League and see Connor there, and we hadn't seen each other in a lot of years, and he comes over, and that kind of connection is not lost. And it was great for my son to see him and connect and go on the field and have photos. And yeah, it's a really nice moment when you see the results of the work you put in with the players.
That's it, Carlos. This is absolutely amazing. I mean, could you guys at the older roos actually, or the over 70 or 50s, whatever it is, use it yourself to improve? I don't know. This is amazing stuff, Carlos.
Look, it is, and I think it is the way the world is evolving in a digital age, and I congratulate Josh for, I think I'm not sure if there are any other apps around, but this is the first time I hear of a football app that helps improve you as a player. But Josh, how many years before you got to today where you have the app up and running? Many countries are purchasing the app and players using it. This was like many years in the making. Can you take us to the very beginning when you had this idea and how you brought the idea into what it is today, Josh? Please.
Yeah. So look, when I was younger, I had a home training program, and going through all the elite programs at Football New South Wales, it was to the point where as a 10-year-old, I'm waking up and checking my heartbeat and writing it down and keeping track of all the things that I train and my well-being as well and health and fitness. And so what I've done is digitise the app. So it's taken, I ran a successful academy face-to-face, and what I found was there's only, so many players you can coach, and there's a lot of people that want to be coached by you. So I thought long and hard about, in the new age, trying to digitise some coaching methods, and I had a bit of trial and error trying to work out, well, these types of systems work face to face, and I had to think about how do I make training sessions that are effective for players and going to improve their playing level when they're training at home with a device as their coach, essentially. And so I've adjusted some training routines, and brought them to life, had a fair bit of testing with some young players, and the results speak for themselves, to be honest. I've got a young fella who's 8 years old, and, he trains on with me, of course, but also on the 24/7 football app when he's doing his home training. And one of the things that he really set off with, there's an element on the app where you do a juggling session, you enter your scores at the end of it, your highest scores, and it tracks what your records are over time. And now as an 8-year-old, he's doing 73 juggles is his PB.
Wow.
He's up to 24 juggles on alternates, and foot knee is the latest one where he's broken a record and got 20. And those kind of things, he's driven by his position on the leaderboard that's on the app.
Gee.
And because he looks at the app and he says, oh, look, all right, now I've dropped down to third because somebody's trained more than me. And so he'll go back to put another session on the app. And instead of just, using a device to watch a silly show, he's using it for good measure and improving his football. So it's been really nice for me to see that kind of thing.
So it's interactive. It's interactive. So there you go. Amazing.
It is, because, he's one of the leaderboard is a real motivator for the players. It keeps them engaged with it. I mean, half the problem is they want to do a lot of the other apps that are on the market, because you touched on this a moment ago, Carlos, whether this is the only one. There are some other apps on the market that provide some training assistance. But what I found was they're often just providing tricks which are to be fancy rather than to actually provide effective training. And this is the part where I thought, you know what, there's a real opportunity here to provide a product to young players, something that's going to assist parents, coaches, to actually be able to benefit their skills and train on the app, but actually improve their game rather than just going, yes, I can do a Maradona spinner ×4 in one go because I've practiced off this YouTube video. But instead, they're doing all those kind of tricks and all the tricks that lead up to these moments where they're doing skill with speed and they're getting their passing technique right, and they actually walk away from it. And whether they realise it or not, they're improving their technique, which lasts for a lifetime.
That's absolutely amazing. Now, let me ask you about the training drills. I saw the training drills myself. Absolutely amazing. And you got some apparatuses that you're using as well. I know there's cones and things, but there's one little one there where you had like a little block or something kicking it up against it. It's amazing. So you're talking about that little bit of a little apparatus that you're using. You're only kicking it straight to that, which means it's like a precision pass, basically, like a precision pass.
Yeah, that's right. So on the app, to be honest, I tried to make a lot of the sessions, because all of the sessions have video demonstrations, and that's all the player needs to do. Press start the session, and they see what's on the screen and essentially follow the session.
Yes.
And so I tried to make the equipment that is required very minimal, because I realised that, players want to just be able to start training quickly. They don't want to have to go to the shop and buy this and that.
Mm-hmm.
And same with parents as well. So I've tried to think about it from that perspective. And the one you're talking about there is just a passing wall, right?
Yes.
So with the passing exercise, I've got a passing wall.
Mm-hmm.
For players at home, all they need is a wall, right?
Yes.
We're all living in a house and they just need a wall to pass on. If you don't have cones at home, you can use a drink bottle. The maximum number of cones you need for any of the sessions is 8 cones. So, look, I'm not encouraging you to use glasses at home, but maybe you've got some plastic cups or something.
I know what you're saying.
You can make do is the point. So whatever you see on the screen, I'm confident that you'll be able to find what you need at home to set up that arrangement and do the session.
I'll bring Carlos on a sec. And the best thing about this is you've actually you don't have to spend the money to buy a cone or this apparatus or whatever, this learning tool, whatever it is. So they can actually make their own at home, which makes it cheaper for the parents. Can you imagine the kids going out, I want that, Mum, I want that, Dad. No, we'll go home, we'll check the app and we'll make this stuff and there it is, it's all done. You can even paint the bottles as well and make them look like cones. Is that right?
That's exactly right. You make it your own. I really did try to make it simple for parents in that regard.
Yes. Yeah, Carlos?
Is that, from what I understand and what you're saying, the age group that you're targeting, the app 24/7, would it be fair to say is between 6 and 15 or 4 to 14? Josh?
Yeah, the beauty of it is that there's actually something on the app for all ages, because it does, rank the sessions in order of difficulty. So you can look at it and decide, is that session at my level? The ideal target market is, as you say, probably about 6 to 17-year-olds, maybe around there. But with the sessions being ranked in order of difficulty, as I say, one, they can choose the session that's appropriate for them, but two, something I reinforce to my players is a lot of the ball mastery type exercises, and you're doing your skill with speed, your 1v1 skills, so you've got your step overs, your side steps, your step arounds, your Maradona spinners, your inside outsides, all of those types of ones. You don't want to just be saying, oh yeah, I know how to do that. For me, something I reinforce with my players is repetition is key. So, yes, you know how to do soul taps. Yes, you know how to do pull pushes. Yes, you know how to do roll outside cut. Whatever the skill is, but you can always improve. And so the idea with this session is, with the 24/7 football app, it's got all these sessions on there, and it's not a case of, I ticked that one off and I've done it now and I know how to do it. It is a case of, I finished that once, I've got a tick because I've earned a trophy on the app. I might be beating my friends on the leaderboard, but I have to return the next day because the leaderboard resets each week, and I need to be repeating those sessions as well. So even though there's 550 skills on the app, there's a lot to choose from. But I still strongly recommend that players take the motto of repetition is key.
I like what you said about the competition with the kids. That's massive, because you know what kids are like, huh? You know what they're like. I got to beat him on the app this time. I got to do more, which means they do more. They'll be doing more. That's the other thing.
Yeah. Well, I've got to say, it's probably made me late for school a few times because my son will wake up in the morning and he'll check the app, and because the app is in now over 100 countries.
Gee.
People, while we're sleeping, people in the USA and other countries are training. So we wake up and the leaderboard's all shifted, and my son says, "Oh yeah, I know we have to go to school, Dad, but I need to do 15 minutes, or I need to do, sometimes just 3 minutes. I need to do 3 more minutes to get back on top of the leaderboard." And for me, every touch counts. So that's a really great thing.
Let me take you back a few years back where people were talking about the Brazilian way of coaching and what the kids do in the favelas, and of course in Argentina. We're talking about the whole of South America, really. Here's these kids in the streets playing with some kind of ball they made from papers and things and everything. This is very similar, because you got the kids now more wanting to do more on the app, which means they could be doing more like these kids in South America, although they didn't have the technology. So you got the technology now for kids to do more skills work and competing against the other kids. So that's exactly what was going on in Brazil. They're competing in the streets, So this could be a time here now where the game could change for the kids in Australia too now,
Yeah, I think so. I mean, of course, it's this app, the 24/7 football app, is not to replace face-to-face training, right? This is another training tool for them, and it's, I've made it really. My motto is I'm trying to make specialised academy-style training accessible to players all around the world at exceptional value. And so, it's only $5 a month. So I've tried to make it that, and players are getting good value out of it. Parents are saying, yes, you're still getting your device time, but whether the kids realise it or not, they might have had their device time, but they've also improved their football skills in the meantime. And they're getting tick on that front, the fitness and the device time at the same time, and they're satisfied.
I can imagine, Carlos, remember we spoke about this probably a year ago or two, about you playing in the streets in Uruguay and getting to do more things and competing against kids there as well. This is going to revolutionise kids getting out there doing more.
Look, anything that helps to develop your technique and skills, and it requires hard work and dedication. As I said many times on the show, the reason that countries like Uruguay, with a population under 3 million people, produces so many world class footballers is because football, it's a way out of poverty for many of us. Whereas children in this country are fortunate that they have never seen a famine. They have never seen a civil unrest or not knowing where the next plate of food will come from. So we will never, Uruguay, Argentina, African countries, they produce footballers world class because there's nothing else to do like play football because of the simple game. It only takes a ball, either newspaper with the stockings or whatever, you play. But also, it is a passport out of poverty. Suarez, Cavani, they came from Nunez, extremely poor families. You get a contract overseas, you buy the house that your parents wish that they could have, but they never had. So anything that improves the skills of our players is I recommend it. But it is hard work. A lot of people, I think Josh will have had the temptation at 18, 19, 20 to go left. There's a lot of temptation. There is parties, there's alcohol, there is. So to be a footballer, when you get, in my view, at the crucial age of 16, 17, you have to choose to make a lot of sacrifices. Your lifestyle has to be all geared towards football. Your diet. So it's a lot of temptation. And also another factor that the South Americans and the Africans don't have is the plethora of summer sport. It comes summer. Football shuts down. We go to cricket. We go to baseball.
That's right.
I always tell the story to everyone. When I came to Sydney, first day at Randwick North, we're going to choose summer sport. And I'm going, where's football? No, it's too hot.
Exactly.
So I got baseball, cricket, and I went water polo, football in the water, to me. So there's a lot of but anything that improves the quality of the skill level, because we compete at the highest level. But you could see how the Japanese, and I'm talking about the Japanese because they've gone to another level, the skill set, how they're better on their one-on-one, on their space, but also relates to futsal. Futsal here is a poor relation to outdoor football. Emiliano Martinez, the Aston Villa and goalkeeper of the year, world goalkeeper.
Yes.
He grew up playing futsal. He knew how to narrow the angle. So there's a lot passed to the equation to become a better player. The app is one, and it's great, but they also have to come from the players wanting to put the time, because so much distractions, in this country. But the question for Josh, if we have a chat in 2020-30, is there an up to version that you're working on in your mind once you get this established and working really well as you want it? Josh?
Before you start, Josh, before you start, exactly what I have here, what Carlos has said, in my version of that question, it says here, is there an AI coach? There you go. By 2030, you may even have one of them.
No, that's right. So, look, we're making steps at the moment. So one of our newest features is having live chat on the app directly with me, actually, as the coach. So, I'm at the moment waking up in the middle of the night trying to receiving questions from Saudi Arabia sometimes, Egypt, America, and just tips on training. And so I'm giving feedback at the moment and giving them pointers. So that's on the app as it is. But as you say, AI is taking over in so many areas of the world. And so that's got to be down the track. We're not there yet with putting the AI on there, but I think that kind of live feedback where you can upload a video of yourself training and get that live or that fast response and feedback on how you're doing certain moves or whether it's your passing technique. So if I'm doing, if I'm doing passing, and I don't care if you've been playing football for 1 year or 5 years or 10 years, I promise you, I still correct players and on their technique, and probably guilty of it myself, because when you're in a pressure situation on a football pitch, sometimes technique is the thing that falls away, and that's what costs us. But I think that's why the repetition is so important at a young age, to just instill the techniques in the mind so that it becomes so natural when you are in those pressure situations. That's what comes out. So just using a passing example, for me, I always break down a passing technique to say your standing foot is placed next to the ball. The standing foot should point towards the target. You lock your ankle with your passing foot and follow through. And so little things like that, those are the tips that are outlined on the app. And what I would hope to see in version 2, as you guys have pointed out, is that somebody can upload a video and get that direct feedback about where they might be able to improve.
One thing I picked out on the app was very important: injury prevention. Nobody talks about injury prevention. I think you're the first one. So what is the injury prevention part? Is it like warm-ups, run-throughs? Is it like a fitness thing to warm up?
Yeah, so that side of it is the strength and conditioning side of it. So there's a number of sessions on there that provide the injury prevention, as you pointed out, and they again get progressively more challenging as you go through the sessions and down the list. But a lot of these as well, one thing, we're ticking off a lot of different categories that players should be training. But not only does this teach you football, it teaches you valuable life lessons about discipline. Being able to put a session in the planner on the app and then come back to it the next day and say, hey, I told myself I was going to train on Tuesday. I've got a session in the app. I've got my reminder to say I need to train, and I'm going to stick to the plan. I'm going to do it. And it's about following the process, I promise you, players like Ronaldo and Haaland and Messi and all them, it's not a coincidence that they're as good as they are. They put in the hours, they had discipline when they were younger. Right. And they, hopefully, this is probably something for the parents as well. The more support you can give your kids and youth league players with this type of encouragement to train on the 24/7 football app or whatever it is for you that works for you, is so important to have that engagement from the parents as well, because I promise you, kids love nothing better than be able to say, hey, Mum, hey, Dad, guess what? I just beat my juggling record. Or,
beautiful.
I've just done 50 passes in 30 seconds on the wall without a mistake. They love beating records, and they love to see you being involved and engaged in it as well.
Carlos, any more for Josh?
No, I think it's the way of the future, and I think getting a video to be judged or ranked according to the level of how good we are, I think that's the next step, and I'm sure the AI will come in and make your life easier, because you're also waking up at 2 o'clock. People don't know that it might be 2 o'clock in the morning when they ring coach. So I think that's the next step for you to be able to balance the challenges of being the worldwide coach on call and having 8 hours sleep. Now, I think it's great. I did run it past my coach, Domenico. He doesn't think that over 55s will subscribe to the app.
I should.
But I know, but, it's a bit hard for people who are older and are very set in their ways to embrace change and adopt change. Change is difficult for many of us because we're stepping out of the comfort zone into the unknown. But, the older Roos, I'm sure that Ernie Campbell could look at the app and learn a few tricks. He's leading the line in Brisbane.
Unbelievable.
For the older Roos in October. And I said to Josh, I don't think he could take the time off work, but imagine if George Acland coached the older Roos to World Cup glory and come and getting off the plane in Sydney and lifting that World Cup
There you
trophy
go. Beautiful.
aloft.
Oh my God.
It's inviting, Josh. I sell it really well, didn't I?
He does.
I
Carlos
can
does.
tell you, I'm 90% there, Carlos. I'm 90% there.
Yeah.
Okay, I have something else here because this can
You just?
Oh yes, I mean put it this way: academies can use it. Academies, right? Academies.
Yes.
Where you've got some kids there that they do one-on-ones and say, we need you to strengthen this part of your game. I'm going to get you this app, and they've got homework at home. They come back to the coach. What have you done? Let's have a look. Oh, you've improved. You've done more things. What you know what I'm saying? So this could be something where a coach at an academy or a junior team can use it as a tool to improve their skills at the club.
Yeah, that's right. So one thing that we've got happening at the moment and is about to come out for launch. So I can't say the name of some of the clubs, but we've got some partnerships with some clubs that we do exactly that. So essentially, what we're doing is we're providing free access to all the coaches of the club to the 24/7 football app.
Great.
A discount code to the club for the club to be able to distribute to its members, so all the players and the parents, and then the players and parents subscribe at a very low cost of $4 or $5 a month. And then outside of that, the club receives reimbursement essentially, or money feeds back into the club from the subscription fee. So a portion of those subscription fees goes back into the club. So it's really win-win-win-win for club, parent, coach and player. And giving the coach, as you say, one good idea is for them to be able to train their kids.
Yes.
They can roll through the app in themselves and look at the technique breakdown of different skills, or see the different drills on there and say, hey, I'm going to incorporate this into my session on Wednesday night. But also, as you pointed out, it is a great option because what you can do is scroll through as a coach and select a session and share it with a player.
Yes, exactly.
And so that is the idea, that the coach will be sharing the players' soccer homework, and players are getting more than that 1 hour a week that they're getting with their coach. Because this, we've got to be realistic. This is not just being used by top-level players. It's being used by players that are all at all different stages of their journey. And really, all that matters is that each player is having access to academy-style training at a very affordable cost, and they're hopefully going to be able to reach their full potential.
And I just want to mention to everyone out there right now, if anybody wants to get in touch with Josh, where can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, so we're on the website is www.247footballapp.com, and we've got Instagram and TikTok as well, with the handle being 247 football app. So 247 football app. But yeah, we got a good following there on TikTok in particular. But it's a great way to see what is on the app, because we do post a lot of different screen recordings of different sessions that are on the app at the moment. And hopefully you'll see the benefit of those and give it a shot, because the app also has a free trial on there. So there's no obligation. You can try out the sessions. You have full access with the free trial. Cancel any time. But my bet is if you try it, I think you'll like it.
You'll be hooked.
Exactly. Guys, you've heard something for the first time in Australia, guys. We've got an Australian gentleman here who's a coach as well, the 24/7 app. Get out there, guys. Get it out there. Go, the sky's the limit here. If you want to get better as a young footballer, or you're in your mid-teens, you can still use it to improve. Guys, thank you very much, of course, Josh and Carlos. Thank you for joining me tonight, boys. Thank you.
Thank you,
everyone.
Carlos.